I've always loved anthology stories or short story collections, in books as a kid, or even TV shows like Amazing Stories back in the 80s. Spielberg presented this idea of this like different directors coming in and telling different kinds of stories. I think that's awesome. I mean, if you don't like one, no worries, just move on to the next one. So when I heard that Lucasfilm was doing the same thing with Star Wars, I thought that was a great idea. And Visions Volume 1 was really, really good. Well, Volume 2 just released. So let's talk about that. I think short form storytelling in Star Wars is super important because it's cool to see different types of stories, different points of view, and all of that stuff I think is really, really a good thing. One of my favorite ideas about this, especially when they had first announced that Visions was coming out, this short done online called TIE Fighter, and it was awesome. The animation style was exactly what I was thinking, and it was like, man, if they could make a whole series just in this art style, dude, it'd be awesome. I mean, I honestly don't know what they're waiting on because that is amazing, and I think it would be awesome to tell stories in Star Wars universe just like that. But hey, we have Visions, and Visions is pretty dang cool. Season 1 was pretty great. Even though for the most part I think some of them were very hit or miss for me, but that first episode short called Ronin was just amazing, and I love that one so much. The great thing about what they did this season is they said we're gonna do different animation styles. We're gonna do a bunch of different countries being represented. I think that's really cool, and I have to say I have to applaud them for that. None of the stories hit very hard for me. None of them made a lasting impression, and that's just I'm just being honest here. But the animation styles were really, really cool to see. We had this stop motion style, like the Wallace and Gromit. In fact, it was that studio. Aardman Studios did one of the shorts. There was another one called "In the Stars" by Punkrobot, which I think was really cool too. It had that same sort of style, and it was kind of neat. And then we went to something like Screecher's Reach, which was definitely more of a traditionally animated sort of story. I enjoyed that one. It was and as far as story goes, I think that one probably hit maybe the hardest. It had everything in it. It was one of the ones that I just felt like it was the most finished. You know what I mean? It was good. The first one looked like, I don't know, like this ink blot type painting, and that one was really interesting. It was called Sith, by El Guiri Studios. I really enjoyed that one. We had one Studio La Cachette did called The Spy Dancer. That one was really visually interesting too, and it's got this French anime style kind of thing going, and I enjoyed watching that one. One of the ones that really stuck out to me was the Bandits of Golak. It had this almost photoreal kind of thing, and it's done by an Indian studio called 88 Pictures, and it's definitely done in the Indian style. It's just everything from beginning to end. It screamed India to me. The way that the story was written, the way that the characters interplayed off of each other, I really enjoyed that one. The one that had the least amount of impact for me was The Pit. I felt like that one, it was almost like the art style wasn't completely finished, or the animation wasn't completely finished. I'm not sure what was going on there. The story itself didn't have much of an impact. I mean, it was supposed to tell a story, kind of separate from the Jedi and Sith and all that, but I don't know, it just didn't have much of an impact on me. The final one, Owl's Song, that one was actually pretty good, and it's almost a stop motion thing, but with like felt like covered characters. It was really visually like an interesting one, but I think the one that I enjoyed the most visually was really just the traditional anime style. And that was Journey to the Dark Head by Studio Mir. I really, really enjoyed that one. In fact, I don't understand why they wouldn't just, I don't know, make an animated series either in this style or maybe even in the style of that TIE Fighter short. Why aren't they doing that? I don't understand what the problem is. Like, have somebody else tell some stories, a season's worth of stories. It could be 8 to 10 episodes, whatever. But I mean, come on, give some of these studios a chance to tell a long form story that might have an impact. I mean, you never know. So Vision season 2 ended up being sort of a mixed bag for me. I mean, visually it was very interesting, but story-wise they just didn't have that much of an impact on me. But I'll still say that if you're interested in short form storytelling, if you love Star Wars, dude, you need to check these out. They're really really short form, like 15 to 20 minutes a piece. And yeah, that you never know. You might find one that really really speaks to you. And that's something that I really love about short form storytelling. It's just one of the coolest things about it. So, have you seen Vision season 2? What did you think of it? Let me know down below. Which one was your favorite? Which one was your least favorite? Which one was the coolest looking? Let's talk about it. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.